The hike starts long before the first step. You feel it in the morning, that quiet excitement as the sun slowly rises and the air is still cold enough to make. You wrap your hands together. My backpack feels heavier than it should, not because of what's inside, but because of the journey ahead. There's something about Kenyan trails. They don't just take you up a mountain, they take you inward too. Right now, the ground beneath my boots is still damp from the night. I can smell the earth, rich, alive, untouched. Every step makes that soft crunch that hikers love. It's a rhythm. Step, breath, step, breath. The trail begins gently, almost like it's welcoming me. Tall grass brushes against my legs, and the morning dew leaves tiny cold drops on my shoes. The sky behind me is painted in soft orange and gold. And when I turn back for a second, just for a second, I can see the land stretching endlessly. Kenya looks different from up here. The farms become patterns. The roads become thin lines. The people become movement instead of faces. And somehow, all the noise of life stays down there. Up here, it's just me, the trail, and the sound of birds calling across the hills. You start hiking with conversations and laughter, but after a while, everyone goes quiet. Not because we're tired, but because the mountain demands respect. Your breathing becomes louder. Your heartbeat becomes the background music. There's a steep section here. You can feel it in your legs. That slow burning that tells you this is no longer a walk in the park. I lean forward slightly, hands on my knees for a second, smiling at the camera because this is the real part of hiking. Not the photos, not the summit, the struggle. But even here, you look up and the view pulls you forward. There's a cool wind moving across the ridge now. It carries the scent of wildflowers and sun-warmed rock. It dries the sweat on my face almost instantly. This is the kind of air you can't buy in the city. We pass a section where the trees close in around the trail. The light filters through the branches in golden beams, and everything becomes quiet. You can hear insects, distant birds, and our footsteps. It feels ancient here, like this path has been walked for hundreds of years. I run my hand across the bark of one of the trees as I pass. It's rough, real, grounding. Hiking reminds you to touch the world again, not just look at it through a screen. And then the first real viewpoint. You don't even realize you've reached it until someone in front of you stops and says, "Woo, look at that." And when I step forward, silence. The valleys roll out in waves of green. Cloud shadows move slowly across the land. In the far distance, I can see small rooftops shining under the sun. This is the reward for every step. I take off my bag and sit on a rock, letting the wind hit my face. My shirt is soaked, my legs are shaking slightly, but my heart has never felt this light. This is why we hike, not to escape life, but to reconnect with it. We keep moving. Now the trail becomes narrow, winding along the edge of the hill. On one side, the slope rising with rocks and bushes. On the other, open air and a drop into the valley below. Every step becomes intentional. And the higher we go, the more the world opens up. We meet other hikers coming down. Everyone greeting each other like old friends even though we've never met. That's the hiking culture here. No strangers. Just people sharing the same mountain. Almost there, someone says. And we all laugh because we know what that means. It's never almost there, but that's the beauty of it. There's a section where the wind becomes stronger, pushing against my body, like the mountain is testing me one more time. I stop talking for a moment because I need the energy to climb. You can hear the breathing now, deep, slow, heavy, but determined. When we finally reach the summit, it doesn't feel loud or dramatic. It feels peaceful, like the mountain is saying, "You made it." I walk slowly to the highest point and turn around in a full circle. Every direction is a postcard. The sky is wide and endless. The land is layered in ridges and valleys. The clouds are so close they look like they're floating at the same level as us. I drop my bag and just sit. No talking, no movement. Just feeling the wind, the sun, and the silence. Up here, nothing else matters. Not deadlines, not traffic, not stress. Just this moment. We take photos, of course, because we want to remember, but the real memory is the feeling, the sweat, the laughter on the trail, the strangers who became friends, the moments when we thought of giving up but didn't. And then it hits me. The hike was never about reaching the top. It was about every step that brought us here. The descent begins slowly. It's easier on the lungs but harder on the knees. We're laughing more now, sharing snacks, replaying the hardest parts of the climb like war stories. The sun is warmer, the trail is brighter, the air feels different, and as we go down, I keep turning back to look at the summit, because a part of me is still up there. By the time we reach the bottom, the world feels louder again, but I'm not the same person who started this hike. The mountain has taken the stress. The trail has cleared my mind. The journey has filled my soul. And as I remove my boots and feel the ground beneath my tired feet, I smile because I already know I'll be back for another trail, another sunrise, another conversation between my heart and the mountain. Because this is hiking in Kenya. Wild, beautiful, alive. as this incredible journey on Africa's second highest mountain comes to an end, it's hard to put into words what Mount Kenya truly feels like. From the very first step on the trail, surrounded by dense rainforest, to the high alpine landscapes that look like something from another planet, every single moment has been a reminder of how powerful nature is. This mountain is not just a destination, it is an experience, a challenge, a story written with every breath, every step, and every heartbeat. Standing here looking back at the peaks of Batian, Nelian, and Point Lenana, you realize that the real climb was never just about reaching the summit. It was about discovering your own strength along the way. The early mornings in the cold, the long hikes through the valleys, the silence of the giant ground soles and lobelias, the sound of boots on rocky trails, the laughter at the camp after a tiring day. These are the moments that make Mount Kenya unforgettable. And then there's the sunrise, that golden light slowly touching the glaciers, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. A view that makes every difficult step worth it. Up here, everything feels different. The air is thinner, the world is quieter, and for a moment, life slows down. You start to appreciate the simple things: warm tea at the camp, a hot meal after hours of hiking, the support of your guides and porters, and the strangers who become family on the trail. Because climbing Mount Kenya is never a solo journey. It's teamwork, it's encouragement, it's pole, step by step. And that's the lesson this mountain leaves with you. Progress doesn't have to be fast, it just has to be forward. To everyone who dreams of coming here, do it. Not just for the photos, not just for the summit, but for the transformation that happens along the way. Mount Kenya will test you, it will humble you, and in the end, it will reward you with memories that last a lifetime. As we begin our descent, walking back through the moorlands and into the forest, it feels like leaving behind a world that only a few get to see. But the beauty of this journey is that you don't go back the same person. You go back stronger, calmer, inspired, and with a new story to tell. To the guides and porters who made this journey possible, thank you for your strength, your kindness, and your constant motivation. To the mountain, thank you for allowing us to stand on your slopes and witness your magic. And to you watching this video, thank you for being part of this adventure. There are still so many places to explore, so many mountains to climb, so many stories to tell. If this experience has inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures into the world's most beautiful destinations. Until the next safari, stay curious, stay wild, and keep exploring.